Hi everyone, Aiden here with the etrailer. Today we're taking a look at the Yakima HighRoad. It's going to be a roof-mounted bike rack here on our 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Now we've got it on the roof today, but just because we do doesn't mean you have to. And honestly, if I had a choice, I probably wouldn't put it on the roof. I'd maybe go for an over-the-bed mounted rack, something like the Yakima Bedrock system, to put that bike rack at a much more manageable height. Either way, it's going to function the same way, but the reason I maybe recommend using it in that regard is the fact that the roof is so tall here. Even though our carbon frame bike up there isn't super heavy, the height aspect is really difficult, and we had to use a step stool to get it loaded or unloaded. Having something over the bed would put it at a much better height, and then we're not using up the hitch of our vehicle either. The only limitation there is if you have a tonneau cover that doesn't accept any sort of accessories like an over-the-bed ladder rack. So just keep that in mind if you do have a tonneau cover, that might not be a good option and you may have to go with the hitch. Otherwise, the roof-mounted option is going to work really well and get a good hold on the bike. It just might be a bit difficult depending on your height as well. I'm about 6 feet tall. We're on stock tires here with our Jeep, and I found it a little bit difficult. But with a step stool, it was fairly manageable. Let's check it out though. So this is going to be a wheel-mounted bike rack, which means we're holding the bike primarily by our front tire here. It uses this hand knob to tighten up this arm right here against the tire, sandwiching against that front wheel hoop there too. And then we've got an extra layer of security with our back wheel strap, and it gives us a 45-pound weight capacity for the bike rack, which should be good for a wide variety of bikes. At the back, we've got a built-in cable lock that doesn't come included with lock cords, but you can pick them up separately and get it keyed alike with your other Yakima accessories. You can also pair that up with lock cores for your actual clamps or the straps that run around the crossbars here, so that you can get the rack locked to the crossbars as well as your bike locked to the rack. Getting the bike unloaded is pretty straightforward. We'll do the back wheel strap first, pressing in on that gray button and pulling out the strap. And then with one hand on the bike, you can loosen up that hand knob for the back hoop. You'll notice it start to loosen up. I'm gonna actually unthread this until it stops out, right there. And now we can just freely move this back hoop, right there, and then carefully grab the bike and lift it away. Now you can see why that height is a bit difficult, because holding the bike by here isn't the most stable thing in the world, and if you've got one that's pushing the weight capacity of 45 pounds, lifting up that high is going to be pretty difficult, which is why over the bed it's much easier. You can see, for me especially, this is a much more comfortable height and way more manageable. That back wheel strap does slide back and forth to accommodate for different wheelbases. I always like to replace that strap, and then the front wheel hoop will just sit back down nice and flat like this. So if you want to leave it on your roof between rides, it's going to be pretty low profile, only sticking up a couple of inches from the top of the crossbar. I'll grab my tape measure real quick and we can see how much exactly. It's only going to be about 5 inches, and that's to the top of the hand knob right here. So overall, it's really not bad. The only clearance thing you run into is when you actually get your bike loaded up. That's going to add a lot of height to your vehicle. Again, if you go with the over-the-bed option, it won't be adding near as much, so keep that in mind too. Now these straps just run around the crossbars and are able to quickly and easily fold over and lock in like that to get a good strong hold on the roof. You can see shaking the bike rack back and forth, it's not budging on the crossbar, so it's definitely secure. And overall, it is a nice way to carry your bikes. I use this bike rack in particular on my own vehicle, but my car is pretty low to the ground, so for me it's really easy and pretty straightforward. I think with the Jeep here, it's gonna work really well. It just depends on where you're mounting it. I think over the bed it's gonna be a great fit, and if you don't have that option, maybe you've got a tonneau cover, I'd look into a hitch-mounted bike rack. Otherwise, that'll do it for our look at the Yakima HighRoad here on our 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Thanks for watching.